All right, we are. We're live. We're. Yeah. I guess so. Yeah. Pull that over. Um. Okay. So where are we at? We did some tats today. Bryson got a big ass panther, a 1 hour panther, big as fuck.
1 hour.
We will forever, for the rest of both our careers, have the ability to say that size is not the biggest determining factor of how much a tattoo costs. Because I'd do that for 200 bucks all
Hell
day,
yeah.
every day. But so we did that. That was fun. And now we're talking about. I don't know if you know the specific phrasing for the modern tribal shit you're talking about.
Mm-mm.
I think they call it like cyber sigilism. I think.
Oh yeah, the
Oh.
modern tribal stuff.
Yeah, it's modern tribal,
Oh.
but it's not just like fucking bold as fucking black. It's like really like finely lined and
Yeah,
And,
I
like
feel like
and
there's a lot
shaded.
more lines and
yeah.
like branches out
Yeah.
more.
Yeah,
And shaded, and they're getting like texture to make it look shiny
yeah.
or whatever, like
Yeah,
round areas on
Yeah,
it.
it reminds me of like metal band logos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
Like it should be spelling something out, but
Yeah, it's something. I mean, it looks like it might spell something out. You know, you can't read it either way. So, but yeah, I mean, I kind of think that shit's cool. It's you know, it's a super solid example of like old school style tattoo. Not like super old school, but like 90s fashion
oh, for sure.
manifesting
Completely
itself.
off topic, but it's like all the kids nowadays getting into Creed.
Dude, that's super on topic.
Are they
like,
really?
Yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah.
it's coming back. Like
Dad
Creed and
rock.
Nickelback and like
Yeah.
all the butt rock bands. Like all the younger kids are like, man, this is tight.
Wow,
Like-
I've never heard this before.
Jinko and like Fubu and stuff is like considered to be like high fashion. It's super cool.
It is
like,
coming back.
There's a local band that plays a lot with my buddies in Ozone, and they're called Since My Beloved, and they play like super like early 2000s style screamo, and they like wear like
Okay.
Jinko pants, and like I think like all local bands do well to have that one homie that's like down to like, you know, if it comes down to it, he's the only dude in the pit moshing, you know, just to
Yeah.
like get the crowd going, and a lot of people like, you know, go along with it. But yeah, I saw them play with Ozone one time, and like their homie that was playing that role, he was wearing like a Fubu jersey, and they were like on stage wearing Jinkos and shit.
Nice.
And like just the music that they play is like, I remember one of my first exposures to like metal music that had screaming was like this Trustkill Records demo. Like we went walking around the mall like for my buddy Ray's like birthday when we were like in like 5th or 6th grade, and we were like asking for stickers, and we went to Hot Topic, and they're like, we don't have any free stickers, but we do have these like Trustkill Records demos. And there was this band Poison the Well that was on that, and like I don't know, like the music that band Since My Beloved plays reminds me of Poison the Well. It's cool. But the crazy thing is too, like they're not like, it wouldn't be surprising to see like, you know, 30 something year old dudes playing that kind of music because they were there for like the original wave of it. But all the dudes in Since My Beloved, I think there might be a chick in the band, I can't remember, but all the people in that band, like they're like in their very early 20s, so like they would have been like toddlers when that music was like prevalent.
Yeah, no, it's coming back.
I think so.
I forgot what they called it. They called it like neo. What they say? They called it like it as if they were calling it like a tattoo, like neo trad, but it was like neo emo or something.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
It's
That's
it's
funny.
awful. One thing I don't want coming back is low rise jeans. Don't bring that
Low
back.
rise jeans.
That can stay.
That's
in
funny.
hell.
You know, like I remember the first time I ever saw a chick wearing like hot like high waisted pants, and I was like, what even is this? And then like fast forward a couple years, and like all the pants are like high waisted. Mm-hmm. I think I was like slow on the uptake, so I'm like, why are they wearing these? Like I
What
thought
is going on?
I thought low rise jeans were just like normal girls jeans. Like you like look at like old like Sum 41 music videos and shit like that, and there's like, you
The
know, there's
chick in there
yeah,
wearing-
there's always like babes in the music video, and they've got like the low rise jeans and like the wallet chain and
Yeah.
shit. Like, you know what? If that comes back, I'm super okay with it. But Yeah, today. What did you tattoo earlier?
Tattooed some peonies, but the last time I tattooed her was a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd definitely say I've changed in a year, like a lot. Like those flowers did not look anything like the flowers I did a year ago.
That is funny. And
So I was trying to, but I was like, I can't make it match.
I know that feeling. Yeah, it's like weird because I feel like in those circumstances, especially, you like suffer a little more the more like dialed in your setup becomes. So whether it's like your go-to color palette or just the way you draw certain shit, it's like easy to find yourself at a loss whenever you have to like go back and try to match something. Like I feel like a lot of my shit is like so all over the place that it's like okay if like I've had the tattoo again up against stuff that I did like 3 years ago, and it's like I don't feel like a super substantial loss because of the fact that like I don't really change my shit that much, but also because like if there's like nuanced differences, they kind of fall to the nuance, you know. And you know, I'm sure your client probably didn't even like notice.
No,
either.
she didn't notice. She
Hell
just
yeah.
wanted peonies.
Hell
Did
yeah.
you notice anything different from this dagger that you did 3 years ago
Oh, I just lined it bold as fuck. Like
to this that you did a year after that, and then the rest of my sleeve you did in the last year? Is there any
Oh, I like that
difference you
eagle.
can tell?
the
I didn't see that eagle.
the biggest thing is like the line weights. Like I don't necessarily just like reach for like a 14 round shader anymore. I might have for that, but then I think the line weight would have been too much. Like I remember thinking today, like I remember because it was an hour ago, but I was setting up and I'm like, I don't know if a bold 11 is going to be enough because that stencil was like bold as fuck.
Yeah.
And we kind of talked about it, but I mean, I think the line weight on that ended up being perfect. But now I'll look at stuff that I did with like a 14 round shader, and I'm like, that's just like way too much. Like, it doesn't. I don't necessarily think that it lends itself towards like the traditional aesthetic as much. Whenever lines are just like super fucking bold, like
Yeah, because then it makes line weights.
yeah. There's whether it's like because it makes line weights or just like I don't know. There's this like obviously like it's a huge characteristic of like traditional tattoos to have like a bold line on it to a certain degree. I mean, I think a lot of the time it's like not necessarily the line itself being actually bold, but just the fact that it is like a black outline and it's like high contrast that sometimes makes the lines look bolder than they actually are. But I mean, like you think about it, and like there's so much shit that we do when we make traditional style like tattoo art that is emulating like the after effects of like an aged tattoo, like whether it's like, you know, you go to paint a sheet of flash and you put a stain on it that like, you know, would have looked ridiculous back in the day if they like pre-stains their sheet, you know. It's like the reason why like old tattoo flash is like stained is because of the fact that they used to like smoke cigarettes inside and
Spill stuff.
yeah, and then like same thing with like the bold lines. Like, you know, any tattoo, the lines are gonna expand a bit, but you know, there was no such thing as a 14 round shader back in the day. They just had it's weird actually. They had like the needle group. Everybody had to solder their own needles, but like the needle gauge, so like each individual needle in a needle grouping was a lot bigger. So that created a bolder line. I mean, it'd be like, they'd call it like a 7, but the reality is that 7 that they, you know, had to solder themselves was like the same line weight as like, you know, an 11 or something like that, depending on like how skilled the person was at soldering their own needles. Because, you know, like that's another thing is like there's like this tool called a needle jig that you'd have to like put a you'd put a needle bar in, and then like you'd put like all your little individual needles in a grouping and then like solder it. I've never actually gotten to see anybody do it. It's like one of those skills that had like fallen to the wayside by the time that I got involved with tattooing. But
Like mixing pigments.
mixing pigments is tight. People still, I don't know that anybody like solders their own needles anymore. I know Wayne Fredrickson, he's got like a needle making company, but I don't know like the process involved. He probably is like intentionally maintaining a veil, you know. It's like he doesn't want us to know that there's like, kids in some third world country soldering the needles for him, and he's just like, yeah, they're the best that you can get. I'm sure they are really good. Like, I'm sure the materials are great, but somehow I doubt that he's the one soldering all these needles, unless he just really, really enjoys soldering needles for some reason. I don't know.
Do you
But-
think it just got more strict on like sterilization?
I mean, I think materials play a role for sure. Because I mean, like, you could tell a difference between like those like cheap cartridges that I'll get off Amazon, and then like whatever anybody's preferred brand is. Like they dole out for sure. So I mean, like, materials probably play a role, and then I mean, I guess. Yeah, I actually am really, really curious to know. I should go comment on one of his videos and find out like how much information he's willing to disclose on what the process on manufacturing needles.
That'd be
is.
interesting.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
not to like make my own needles, just I'm curious.
Just to know, yeah. Like there's like, I would say like the holy trinity of like old school tattoo skills outside of like actually making a tattoo are like needle soldering, pigment mixing, and machine building. And it's funny because like when it comes to tattooing, it's like the cat's out of the bag. Like they're like anything you might want to learn about tattooing, you can learn on the internet. But with that being said, it's funny how machine building and needle soldering and pigment mixing are almost like more protected than tattooing itself, because I don't know, I guess there's less demand for it, but there's a lot to gain from knowing it. My buddy Chip, he just made his first attempt at mixing pigments, or not a first attempt. He's got a good source on who's teaching him how to do it. So he's getting to be a part of like a long-standing tradition of pigment mixing.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm super stoked for him that he gets to do that. Hopefully, he said that like the method that they use to mix the pigments, they let them sit for like 6 months before they actually use them.
Oh, damn.
So he told me he'd be willing to give me some or sell me some or whatever, but he was like, yeah, but it'll be like 6 months. He sent me a picture like yesterday or something, and it was like he had like all these like mason jars with like the pigments like pretty much like ready to sit. And I'm like, yeah, that's badass. That's cool. But
That's super cool.
yeah, that'll be really cool 6 months from now.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I don't know. Pigment mixing, that was always the one that I was like the most like bummed out that I never got to be around anybody that knew how to do it. And then machine building's cool too.
Yeah, because it's a powder, the pigment, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can buy it from different places. That power supply that I have back there, that National, that company, they used to be like from my understanding, they used to be like the go-to for pigments, but they like only recently in the last couple of years went out of business. But yeah, there's still places you can get powder pigment, but then yeah, you just have to go through the whole process of mixing it. And for 99% of tattooers, I think it's like just kind of like whatever. I'll just buy some pre-mixed Eternal or whatever.
It's just kind of like a fun little art project.
Yeah, that's
to make
yeah.
your own stuff.
It'd be nice to know.
It would be nice to know. It's funny, like you'll hear this sentiment expressed by a lot of old school tattooers where it's like, well, like if the apocalypse happens, then, I'll still be good. I know how to solder my needles. I know how to build machines. I know how to mix pigments. So, I could still be making post-apocalyptic tattoos. It's like, well, I mean, you'll have to get a generator, I guess. It's
Yeah.
like power grid's going too.
We'll just
But-
have to learn how to do what's it called? The Chibori? Where they
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
hammer it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, where they take the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's an
Yeah.
artist that over here that's learning it, that Nick Clark. He's learning how to do the traditional Japanese.
That is cool.
It's pretty cool.
There's a friend of some friends of mine, Josh. He tattoos up in Oklahoma, and he's a fucking badass. Like his shit's so fucking sick. Like his drawings, like he's got every aspect of the process figured out. But I had heard he was trying his hand at like the Tabori thing. I don't know if he stuck with it because he's prone to drawing like full back pieces and shit.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I don't know how committed he is to doing
A whole
full
back
backs like that.
piece.
Yeah. I don't remember who it was. Somebody went and got like a little bit of Tabori from him, but it was like just like a little diddle. But
You think it's more painful or less painful?
I hear less painful.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like you can-
from what I've heard, it's less painful, but I don't actually know. I mean, with like the pain of a tattoo, I've actually heard that it's not your skin getting penetrated that hurts. It's the fact that it's happening at like,
Really
however many
fast.
cycles per second. And I've also heard that that's why like, I guess tattoos tend to react kind of like a sunburn. Like they peel and they do all that. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I mean, it seems like the Tabori tattoos bleed a lot
Yeah.
from the videos that I've seen. It seems like they
It's
bleed
really
a lot.
gross.
Yeah, there might be
It's puddles.
yeah, there might be more penetration, but it's it's happening like
I wonder how much I
like
bleed.
at most like 5 cycles per
I bleed
second.
like crazy when I
Are-
get tattooed.
Are you already filling up?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
leaking in my sock.
I'll go get a little Capri Sun straw and just like
Yeah.
slurp it up. Hell yeah.
Well, I like to let it collect on the floor and then I'll lap it up like a dog.
I know you remember, but she wasn't there to know. One time, whenever I tattooed his elbow,
Oh no!
we did it like we did it on I can't remember what day of
What's
the
on
week
your
it was.
elbow?
It's
Oh, the rose.
yeah, it didn't have the color yet. It was just the
It was
black.
just the black, the shading and the outline.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah. So we did it, and then
I actually have a picture of it with just the outline and shading.
yeah, yeah. It's on my Instagram. So we did it, and then like he had like just gotten his job, I think. So like his route home involved him being able to just like drive by Pink Cobra and come by, and I was gonna basically like my process on aftercare. Like I prefer, especially if I don't have time for them to like sit around and bullshit. I like to like put a soaker pad on it, and then like whether it's like the next day or a couple hours later, I'll have them pull that off, wash it real good, let it dry, and then put the Saniderm on. But he was going to go ahead and get out of there, so I just told him like, we'll leave this on till tomorrow, and then come back by tomorrow, and I'll put Saniderm on it for you. Well, like, I mean, it was his elbow, so there's obviously an amount of like swelling and bleeding, and then like I kind of like slathered it in A&D.
Put it on the screen.
Oh yeah. Let's see.
Is it recording on this camera?
Wait, hang on. Oh, that's not good.
Pause it.
Oh yeah. Okay, so there it is. Yeah. So that's what it looked like originally. Fucking dude, I hate Instagram. Like on like especially on my fucking
Oh,
you
yeah,
can't
zoom in,
Yeah, there
enhance.
it goes. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's weird too, because like I didn't put opaque gray in it, but for some reason that's just what it looked like. Like we took the
It
picture.
really does.
There was so this is tell the story and that'll explain why it was opaque gray.
Yeah. Okay. So, like I said, like I slathered it in A&D, and then put some soaker pads, and then like wrapped that bitch with fucking Saran wrap like fucking 3 times, and then fucking put some Scentsy wrap on him, and I was like, okay, that should be good for you to go crawl under somebody's house or crawl up in somebody's attic.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we did that, and then he came to the shop the next day, and I gloved up and I went to go like pull all that off of him, and when I did, it was like I guess like the Scentsy wrap caused it to have like such a perfect seal that like nothing had leaked
Oh,
out.
no.
Like so like I pull it off of there, I finally get like the last layer off, and it just goes like it was one of the grossest sounds I've ever heard, because it was like more than a fluid ounce of like liquefied A&D plasma sweat,
like thick,
like
just-
like
it's
everything.
like it
It was
just
pitch black too.
yeah
It was
it
pitch black, and it landed right on a white tile.
Oh,
yeah,
perfect.
yeah. They got the really nice
So both of you are
tile.
just like,
Wow. Yeah. It was
Wow.
it was the grossest, because it was so like viscous. Like it was like not fully liquid, but like it was so gross.
yikes.
But I forgot how we got onto that.
We were talking about his elbow.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah,
The,
yeah,
the whole story was brought up because of that.
yeah,
'Cause We
yeah,
were talking about plasma and stuff.
yeah. It was. Oh yeah, and then this bleeding. Yeah, there's after that, it's like no amount of like bleeding is gonna like fucking be weird to me. Oh shit!
Again.
All right.
So is that all you tattooed today? Was the leg piece?
No, I tattooed some lady's neck.
Oh yeah, the one that wore the sweatshirt to.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't know how she did that. Like just sitting here right now, I'm sweating.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
I
is
don't
kinda
know
warm
either. Yeah, it was, and I don't know, like whenever I tattoo, especially somebody's like neck or something where I have to be like all up on them, it's like I generate a lot of heat. Like I
Mm-hmm.
know that I do. And
I can
like
only imagine how much more difficult it made actually doing the tattoo because like she had like all that extra.
Like
material.
clothing.
To sum it up, there were some constraints put in place. It was kind of small because it was going on her neck, justifiably so. She was concerned. God damn it! Though. Oh, never mind. The mic's good.
Yeah, no.
I'm tripping. The justifiably so. She was a little bit concerned about like it going on her neck, but she, as you heard, insisted on it going on her neck. If it was like 100% up to me, I would have done things differently. Like just made it a blackwork scorpion with like red background. But overall, it was okay. I felt all right about it for a neck. You know,
Yeah, necks are pretty difficult.
yeah, I think so too. Anywhere that creases.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the second neck I've done in the past 2 weeks.
A lot of people just get everything that shows done 1st
Mhm.
and work their way up nowadays.
That's definitely the newer generation. Have you seen the
Yeah.
pictures of like people in the
The
20s and up?
diagrams.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went to school with this kid Barry. He's
Barry.
Very.
completely tatted now, but like his first tattoos were like roses on his hands.
Oh my god.
Like no other tattoos, just boom, rose on his hands. And now he's completely covered, but like
Good on Barry.
backwards, you know,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
pretty backwards.
They want people to see their tattoos.
I mean, I kind of did this sleeve backwards. I mean, we did everything around here, and then we filled it in with stars and dots, and then did everything up here, and then did the same.
Yeah. I mean, like, I feel like the conventional thing to do was to, like, get your acceptable rebellious tattoo zone first. But I kind of get it when people get, like, their forearms tattooed first because it's kind of like a happy medium. Like, you can show it when you want to, but you can cover it when you don't.
Yeah,
Plus, I think, like sitting for an hour on your forearm tattoo is a lot easier than getting, like, the whole outside of your bicep blasted for fucking however long.
yeah. I mean, we did this. This one took forever, and forever it means like more than an hour. For
Yeah.
Chad.
Yeah.
It took like 2 hours.
Which one?
Yeah.
This one.
That one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Hell yeah.
Dude, it just feels so good to be back on needle bars. I don't even necessarily care whether it's like rotary or coils, but like I just like needle bars so much better because I think like I don't know, like I feel like there's so much shit that gets compromised in my process using fucking cartridges. Like they're just not like sturdy enough to like be able to like just blast somebody. And I thought about it, you know, like I've been using cartridges for like fucking probably like more than 2 years now. And like especially like I never think about it when I'm doing something this big. And I'm never think it could be this big if it's like just black work, but like anytime I'm doing like something with like something big with color, I always think like I wonder like cuz you obviously like when you set up like a pen, you save time on the setup because it doesn't take as long to like drop the needle in the fucking tube and whatever you
Easier to switch out to different
Yeah.
sizes.
Yeah, so you save yourself time on setup, but like as far as like actually tattooing somebody, I would always think like, fuck, I wonder how much faster I would have gotten this fucking tattoo done if I had just like never started fucking using these pens. And now like it feels like nature is healing. Like I said something today, I was like, yes. Like I think I actually said nature is healing.
Yeah.
But
Wait, what?
yeah. Like, dude, like, there's no way I would have been able to rip through that tattoo in a fucking hour if I was using my fucking pen. Like, I might have rushed the black a little bit, but like, other than that, like, fucking the line work is like crisp as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I feel really good about that.
Salad.
Yeah, dude, that was like a genuinely fun fucking tattoo to do, and I
Hell
like
yeah.
that there's like. We've got some like kind of East Coast style shit going on your leg because that means I get to do more. So like yeah, we'll wrap that leg with like East Coast shit, and then we'll figure out some medieval shit to go on that arm. And yeah, feels
Yeah,
good, dude.
it's gonna be pretty cool.
I'm happy.
Yes, it's been a little bit since I got a tattoo. I needed it.
Hell yeah.
I needed it.
Hell yeah.
Ink
I was like
therapy is for
jonesing
real.
for one all week, man.
Yeah, I know. Well, I felt bad, like, kept putting you off. Like, I'm like, fuck, man, I just really need to actually, like, make some fucking money, dude. But, oh, that's actually a really good segue into what I actually wanted to talk about is annual income of tattooers. Um, so, you've probably heard me say this before, but, like, so for the last 3 years, I've been gradually making less and less money. I think 2021 was like a really badass year because like everybody got stimulus checks, so it was like a year-round income tax season because everybody had like stimulus checks and
They had
income
extra
tax.
money.
Yeah, it was.
No one's
super
got
badass.
extra money now.
I was
Yeah.
I was looking it up on like I mean obviously like if you look on the internet for like average salary of tattoo artists, you're gonna get like all kinds of like fucking
Yeah.
like the most wildly skewed numbers.
Because people don't log anything down.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, how many tattooers actually pay their taxes? But like, I it was funny because it was almost like a lot of like the Google listings or the Google information that
We got some screamers.
yeah, we got some screamers, ladies and gents. But a lot of like people on Google like don't even understand that like it's a commission based pay, and so it's like because of the fact that it's commission based pay, it's inherently like creates this massive spectrum of like average income. But really what I was looking for is like median income for like tattooers who actually report their income, and the numbers were like pretty good. Like I want to say like some of the results that I saw, it was like specific to Texas because I guess like Google can track your fucking location and tell like where you're searching from. But I think like nationwide the median income according to one specific listing that I saw it was like 50 something thousand, and then it said for Texas like the median income for tattooers is like 40 something thousand, which honestly like the only time that I've made that much money was in 2021, and it might have been dated listing, like that could have easily been like a listing from 2021. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But I wonder like this like 2023 and going into 2024 what like the median income for tattooers is. I mean, like, obviously it's like largely based on like your personal initiative and how on top of your socials that you are. But as far as like walk-ins, which in a perfect world is like, you know, just icing on the cake, you know, you get to like stay booked through the week, and then on weekends, you know, you might like leave it open to be able to take some walk-ins. But it's crazy because it just kind of seems like they're not there. And
Yeah, 2023, probably by far the worst year.
really, yeah, I thought so too. I mean, I don't know, I've always kind of tried to set things up to where I could be like, you know, like I might take like the undesirable hours. So like at the shop I used to work at, that was like Sundays and Mondays for whatever reason. I mean, I think in a lot of tattooers' minds, it's like everybody wants to work Friday, Saturday. Not everybody wants to work Sunday, Monday. So whereas like shop wide, that might be the Sunday, Monday might be the slow day. But if you're the only one working, then like, you know,
You
you
make
can
pretty
do
good
pretty
money.
well.
Sundays
Yeah.
are usually pretty busy.
That's cool. I'm actually getting ready to start working Sundays here. I just recently, like, I thought about it and reflected, and like Tuesday, Wednesdays, it seems like I just like sit around, and we're like super overstaffed Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think I'm gonna start working weekends and then just have a little middle of the week weekend.
Like appointments only during the week. I try to set more appointments during the week since weekends get a little busier, but
Yeah, if people are down to come in, like that's cool. I think the other thing is too, there's a certain kind of client that like they prefer to book for a weekend, which it's like
weekends
Yeah.
are always the first thing to go. So I'm like, all right,
yeah,
I need you to.
it throws me in a weird space too, because it's like, okay, so like I want to be available for walk-ins, but it's like I'm taking a gamble. But the other thing is too, like most people who book with me, they know what kinds of tattoos that I do, and I always like will like discount the shit out of those, like whenever it's like something I actually want to do versus like, you know, making myself available for shit that might not be as tight. So
Oh yeah, no, I definitely downcharge the pieces I want to do because I want those pieces out there.
yeah, that's
Walking
how I feel
around.
too. That's definitely how I feel. Yeah, I don't know. That was like this like some kind of a theme that I wanted to convey with the whole like average median income of tattooers. Like you know, if every year we get to make like 40 to 50 grand, like fuck yeah, like that's tight. But I think the reality is that you have to be super down. Like you just want to do tattoos, you know, and if there's like income that comes as well, then that's tight.
That's a bonus, but
Yeah, I think so too. I would rather do a tight tattoo every day than like get paid to do tattoos every day, if that makes sense. Like it would drive me crazy if all I ever had to do was just like
walk-ins.
walk-in tattoos that I'm like not all that into. Like
Yeah.
I can accept the reality that like walk-ins are how I get paid. Cool tattoos that I actually want to do are more or less just cool tattoos that I want to do. But yeah, I don't know. Building a clientele is like not only just building a clientele, but getting your clientele attuned to actually like knowing what you want. You know, it's like a long series of like arbitrarily abrasive conversations that you have to have. And I think it's cool how like certain clients will kind of take it on the chin. Like, I guess it was December. I did a raffle, and I was really pleased with the results of the raffle because the girl that won it, like I think I set it up to where you could buy as many as like 4 entries. But the girl who won, she just bought 1 entry, and I've tattooed this chick at like 3 or 4 different shops now. Like she's followed me from like shop to shop to shop. Like
Hell yeah.
she's one of the rare few whose like loyalty actually lies with like the artist versus like the shop. And it was so crazy too how the results of the raffle came out, because like I tried to involve my daughter, and I was like, because I had 20 entries and a 20-sided dice, and I numbered everybody's entry, and I was like, okay, Spency, roll the dice. And she kind of gave it like this like weak ass roll. She was just like, and I was like, all right, so there's very little showmanship in that. So, but I noticed when she rolled it, it was a 4. I'm like, okay, well. So I took the dice, and I was like, all right, well, Spency's out, so here we go. Rolled it. It landed on fucking 4 again.
It was meant to be.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. So I went and looked on the listing, and I was like, oh, shit. Okay, so it was Emma, and yeah, it was cool. Like, she's cool as shit, but it's funny because, like, every once in a while, she'll get, like, some cool shit, and sometimes she will, like, get shit where it's like, I go into it, and I'm like, ah. And she'll like be apologetic about it, which like is cool. You know, she's like, yeah, I know it's not like fucking
A Grim Reaper.
the Grim Reaper with like blood and shit. And I'm like, no, it's cool. Like, you know, she's
Just this once, it's fine.
yeah. But yeah, no, but I mean, sometimes she'll ask me for shit that I like go into it thinking like, oh, this is gonna suck, and then like I'll be doing it, and I'm like, wait, actually, like, this is fun. Like, this is cool. You know, it's like. I think it sounds corny when you're like, I just love doing tattoos, bro. You know, but it's like, you know, in some cases, like, you know, when I'm not like having to like fucking squeeze it in, like push somebody's like neck out of the way or fucking whatever, you know, like minor disposition that I may be in. It's like, I don't know. It's almost like, you know, when you have like a school project and you're like, this is going to suck. This is going to suck. And then you just do it and it doesn't suck that bad.
You're like, okay.
Yeah.
Find the flow of it.
Yeah. Once I can enter my flow state, I'm a lot more open-minded.
Yeah. The girl I tattooed today, she actually can't feel her arm. So
That's nice.
that's nice.
The hell yeah.
She like lost feeling in her arms like, I don't know, like almost a year ago. And then
Why?
finally went to the doctor. She has like a mass growing like in her brain. It's not a tumor, so she just has to get casual brain surgery.
Yeah, as one does.
Yeah. So it like started off with her fingertips always being numb. And she just didn't think anything of it and just gradually kept moving up and up. So that's where she's at right now. She can't feel her arm.
Did you still move her arms?
Yeah, she can still move it. She's like, it just feels weird. Like, I still have full function of it, but it's like constantly tingling, like it's falling asleep.
Oh, I bet that could get miserable.
That'd be really annoying.
Yeah. Fuck
So hopefully that surgery gets rid of all that.
yeah. Yeah. She's like, wait, actually getting tattooed fucking sucks. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not doing this anymore.
So she's like, I'm gonna hurry up and do this before my surgery.
Hell yeah, smart.
Yeah. I'd just blast it all out, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I can't feel anything. Let's go.
It's pretty much what we're doing. We're gonna do the inside of her arm in a couple weeks. So.
Hell yeah. Well, that's
Can't
cool.
feel my other arm. Let's go.
Yeah, just keeps on creeping everywhere.
Yeah. Wait till I can't feel my legs and everything. Put it
Then
off
I'll get
last
surgery.
minute,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
completely tattooed, you know?
Yeah.
What do you think about like it seems like it's a lot of like sports stars and shit that are like paying for anesthesia to I saw a post the other day. It was like homeboy got his teeth fixed and got tattooed by like 6 different dudes in
Hell
one
yeah.
afternoon. I mean,
Casually.
yeah. It's funny too because it's like, I mean, especially in those circumstances, like we're pretty highly paid, but like anesthesiologists are like
I
hella
think that's
fucking
already
paid.
like I don't know, like a couple thousand.
Yeah. Like I mean, if you're looking for an easy way to triple the cost of your tattoo, like anesthesia is the way to go. 'Cause
How do you go about that? Do you have to get a nurse to the studio, or do you tattoo them at the hospital?
you tattoo them at the hospital,
Oh,
from what
okay.
I've seen.
Okay,
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
that is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. But and it'll be like 6 dudes tattooing somebody like all at once. Like they're like elbow
Yeah.
to elbow.
Dude, like the after process of that, like, has to be rough. Like, you have to, like, wake up and feel like you got hit by a truck.
Literally, he's probably on like
Yeah.
a drip or something to not feel pain
I mean,
right away.
That's what I'm saying. Because, like, even after you did, like, this whole piece of my arm, like, the last, like, the next 3 days,
It was the
Sore.
lemon.
it sucked. Like,
Yeah,
It was sore.
it literally sucks to walk right now.
Yeah, I mean, you think I mean,
Like leg tattoos, you can feel it stretch.
yeah, you absolutely can. I don't know, like I think like if you've got the team to be able to like the team and the finances to be able to like hire an anesthesiologist for you to get tattooed and you can coordinate all that. I'm sure that it's in the car. Like you could probably get some prescription drugs as well. And that might have been like the tech behind like getting his teeth worked on at the same time. Like
I guess so. Because, like, I mean, I can only imagine, like, waking up from anesthesia and having, like, a full back and sleeves, like, done or some shit, you know? Like, some crazy
I
shit.
don't know. Can't
Yeah.
move.
yeah.
Days.
Yeah, like, that can't feel good.
No.
I wonder if it gets weird, like, because like there's certain like lines of communication that you have to have with your client, like whenever you're like tattooing a leg or an arm and you need them to like roll a little bit. Like, imagine if you're just like having, because I kind of do the same shit, like especially like here sometimes, like I'll put on headphones and like I used to have a big issue with it whenever clients would like use the headphone method because I like to talk to people, but I've grown to not be that way as much. Like sometimes I'll just like
Zone out.
yeah, I'll just do the fucking tattoo, like I've
Some days are like that. It's nice.
it kind of makes me feel like a fucking jerk sometimes because I've kind of like excluded the social element. I mean, like it's one thing if like I have I know I have common ground, especially like the people that I tattooed for a long time, like since like I used to talk more while tattooing, but it's like it's kind of weird tattooing newer people now because it's like I don't know, like I just don't.
What do I talk about?
Yeah, I don't
It's
know.
mainly the younger generation. I don't know what to talk
Yeah.
to about them. Like I can't connect.
Yeah, like older people, I'll be like, so do you have kids? And like,
Yeah.
70% of the time they're like, yes. I'm like, oh, let me tell you about my kids. And and it's like it's super easy. But then like younger kids, it's like, yeah. So
Yeah.
what do you think about Suicide Boy? I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like I just genuinely don't know what to talk about. So I just like crank my fucking music up, and that's evolved into like me just putting headphones on. And most people, I think, they respect like you doing what you need to do to like get into your zone or whatever. But it just feels kind of bad. Like I know that there's like a huge sector of like the tattooer community that's like very like anti-headphone, and I used to be that way too. But
I like it at conventions.
oh well,
too many
fuck yeah,
people,
yeah, it's like
yeah.
absolutely mandatory. I'm not gonna try to yell a conversation
Yeah,
with
no.
somebody. I don't know. Like I haven't done conventions to really know, but like I kind of like I don't. I feel like I would either perform exceptionally well in those circumstances, or like, I don't know, like I'm a little bit prone to being like overstimulated. Like it pisses me off here whenever you'll have like fucking 4 different sources of sound. Like fucking Travis will be over there like playing PlayStation,
Yeah.
and like he's fucking playing Dark Souls or whatever, and you're having to hear like and then there's like fucking music coming from over here, and then fucking Zach's
big
playing.
ass speaker in the
Yeah, like Zach, like I guess is like not subject to this at all, because he'll have a movie going and fucking loud ass music coming out of the speaker, and fucking Gus has got music going, and you hear
Yeah.
fucking country coming from back there.
Yeah,
and
they
it's
have
just
like subwoofers in the
yeah,
back. Like,
it's just too fucking much. So I
yeah,
kind
that's
of
about how a convention is. Everyone's
Yeah.
on speaker wars, and that's why you put headphones in.
just zone out. Yeah, we just vibe out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, like I think I don't want to downplay the importance of the social element, but at the same time, like I had this epiphany that I don't want to like overly rely on the social element of doing a tattoo. Like I don't want a bunch of people to just like get tattooed by me because it's like, oh yeah, he's tight. You know, it's like I want people to get tattooed by me because they actually like the tattoos that I do
Yeah.
and shit. But I mean, I guess a little bit of both. You know, like I've always said, like a little bit of people skills goes a long way as a tattooer. So
Yeah, you can definitely tell who doesn't really have a background of customer service.
yeah,
The way they talk to people up front. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sitting up at the front. I hear the way some people talk to these clients. I'm like, ugh, cringe, stop.
yeah. That's the other thing is like it's only been recently that I've like cut. Ooh, hello. It's only been recent that I like. I've developed a sense of cringe about like people who are overly like prone to the social thing, like when Lindsay would work here, like
Oh,
like
yeah.
I could not do it, and like
No.
and there's like there's different forms of it. Like I think it's good to be a social chameleon, but for some reason it's weird to me being a third party to somebody being like a social chameleon. Like when I hear you change the way that you talk from moment to moment based on who you're talking to, it's like
I know. I was partners up with a tattoo artist at a convention, and what was it? Some dude and like some wife. Like there was a couple that walked by, and he was asking what styles we do, and you know we set our styles. And what did she say? She was like, "That's literally my favorite style," and then somebody comes around, a different person, and says a different style, and she's like, "That's literally my favorite style." I'm like,
oh, Ryder does
every
that.
style is your favorite, I
Yeah,
guess.
Ryder
I don't-
does that. I have for years made fun of Ryder because it's like whatever comes to the door, that's what he specializes in. It's crazy. I don't know. Like I don't want to like detract from anybody who puts energy into like giving customers a pleasant experience. Like I think that is great.
I guess I'm more big on like, I feel I want to attract more people that I get along with than have to force it, because if I have to sit with you for hours at a time, I want
Yeah.
to be able to actually connect.
Yeah, I agree. Like
Then-
I've found value in authenticity because I don't know, it's a little bit draining whenever like I'm having to focus on creating this like vibrant social experience.
I've
for
given up
people.
on that. That's mentally exhausting. And I'm like, if you don't like it, if you don't like me, then that's okay.
I think maybe we're too young to be having this conversation, but
Is it?
I
Are we-
don't know.
I think
don't
we
know.
just experience way too many different people. We know who we
Yeah.
want around.
Yeah, I mean, like I've said before that I think like the biggest advantage in term, like obviously like there's fulfillment that comes in the form of being able to put your art on people. Like that's fucking awesome. But the reality is that you're not always going to get that. Like it's not always
Yeah.
you getting to put your art on people. It's just you getting to put art on people. But with that said, typically it's not uncool people that get tattooed. Like you get to hear
Yeah.
like wild ass stories. Like I've always enjoyed that. Like just being able to because there's still like granted, like tattooing is more, wearing tattoos is more socially accepted, but I think that there's always going to be kind of like a countercultural element to
Oh, for
tattooing. So I don't know. It's just, it's not uncool people. Like, you know, you get people from all different walks of
Oh,
life,
yeah.
and so like I think it's worthwhile.
I don't think cool as in like, you know, we're in high school and there's the cool people, the cool kids, whatever. It's
Yeah.
like, I don't know, like a
Just
whole
interesting.
Yeah, interesting. Like actually interesting people with lives and stories.
Yeah, I don't think that everybody I tattoo needs to be exactly like me. I mean, it's cool if they are. Like if they want to like
Yeah,
listen to
no.
metal and get fucking, you know, cool like bloody tats and
I
shit.
just want to be
like-
able to have clients that I can actually talk to and
yeah, yeah.
listen to them and hear their stories. And
Yeah, like
some
that,
people, they just want to sit there.
yeah,
not
I mean
say
that,
it.
that's fine too. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess like learning to be able to do both. Like I've had clients that prefer to put headphones on because it just gets them in their zone. And, you know, if that helps them to sit, then that's cool. I'll just, you know, I'll put some headphones on too.
Yeah,
You know,
I am not a talker when I get tattooed.
Yeah,
I'm like, don't fucking talk to me.
I kind of wish I was. Like, I wish that like getting tattooed didn't bother me as much, because like I'd be a lot more tattooed if like I could find that mental state to be able to enter to feel okay. But I just can't. Like,
No.
yeah, I don't know, man. But it was funny. Okay, so just now you were talking about the girl who like every style is her favorite, and I for some reason I thought I didn't realize you were talking about a tattooer saying that, which is fucking hilarious. Good on her for that. But I'll never forget. Speaking of Emma, that client of mine, she's younger, you know, and it seems to be a lot of the time it's like younger people. They'll sometimes come with like a group of their friends. And when I worked at Tattoo Ranch, I didn't mind it as much that was some people's preferred method, because we had square footage for days. Like there was so much room in that shit to sprawl out. I had two
So much room
stations.
for activities.
Dude, there was so much room for activities. Like I had two stations. Like I literally had like me and Chris's station right here, and I had like a computer. Like I had like this right here, my computer desk.
Like two
basically.
separate.
Yeah, a whole separate thing, and I was like, "Oh, that's where I answer my emails." Like people are emailing me, like, "Fuck no, baby."
This is my email station.
That's where I play World of Warcraft. Fucking. So there was one day I was like tattooing Emma, or like one of her friends. She was always like really cool about like referring friends and shit. But they had like some friend of theirs that like I guess like wasn't like very central to their friend group, but just like, you know, somebody they were down to allow to tag along for the tat experience. Well, fucking, so like the conversation kind of hit a lull, and like I don't know if like what was going on with the music, but there was like a long kind of quiet part in the music, so like you could tell that this like moment of silence was like kind of bothering this chick, and she was just like, I'm allowing a silence, just to the effect. She's like, yeah, tats hit different.
Just to break she cannot handle silence. Honestly, sometimes silence is great. This one dude that Isabella pierced today
Yeah.
was odd.
Oh, the
Okay.
dude that he got tattooed by Chris?
Yes, Isabella came to warn him.
I interacted with him for 5 seconds and got a weird fucking vibe off
Yes.
that dude. Like, what did he come in here and say? Like we were
Something about like his ears or something.
Yeah, so he's sitting in there, and he's like, "I've already had these pierced." She's like, "Okay, we can use a taper."
yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, shove it in, make it orgasmic."
No
And-
fucking
and I turned
way,
around, like-
dude. Bro, shut
He's
your
like-
ass up.
I know, and then it was just silence after that. He was the only one that laughed. He was like,
Fuck
and
no.
everyone's silence in the room, and then he's like, "Look at her, tattooing all silent, looking like Wednesday Addams writing a book." I was like,
What the
bruh.
fuck? Bro, no.
He's like, your machine's so silent, so majestic.
He's like David Attenboroughing your
I was like,
fucking
you can't
tat
be real about
experience.
that. Yeah.
Shit, frog in it.
He is a fucking frog in it. No, he came in here because like I guess Chris tattooed him after that, and he
Yeah.
like came in here and like did the same type shit. He was like, So yeah, like, but
He
it
does
was-
not like silence.
No, that's crazy. Oh man, I can't stand that. Like,
He was like, all my girlfriends put their girly ears or earrings in my ear. I'm like, cool.
What?
That's cool.
tight, dude.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wear those hoops.
He's like, yeah. We tapered it up to a 12. Like he wanted to like
Yeah.
name drop the gauge that he got. I'm like, tight, man. That's
Cool.
Yeah, dude, awesome.
Me
Yeah.
and Travis sitting out here like
Yeah.
inch plus.
Oh, which I got these like pendants and like wrapped them in my
Hell
ear holes.
yeah.
yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm actually feeling a vibration from your ears right
Feel it?
now. Like I'm
Double
I'm-
vibrations going on.
Yeah, I really am. Like the geometry. What's
Oh,
going
it
on
threw me
there?
off.
That was kind of weird.
It has happened twice.
Is autofocuses
Yeah.
or something?
I guess so, yeah.
It's just a random snapshot of.
I guess. I don't think it took a picture. I think it just autofocused or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, but to finish my story, fucking, so like she goes, Tats hit different. And then like the silence continued for a little bit. Like everybody's kind of absorbing what she said. And I'm like,
Yep.
different than what?
What are you comparing this to?
Yeah, I don't.
Did she say?
No, fuck no. She was like, oh, I don't know. And everybody just kind of like laughed at her for a moment. I don't know. It was, yeah, I don't know. That I'll never forget. Tats hit different though. It was
Tats
good.
hit different.
It was good. I mean, is she wrong?
No, my leg was hitting different today.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what it's hitting different compared to.
I mean,
don't
just
think
her
I
day-to-day
experienced.
life. I don't know. I think she was just having a whole experience, and she was like, you know what? That Emma chick, she it wasn't until she got here, cause like I was tattooing her when I still had to like tattoo in the fucking like living room thing over there.
Oh, in the corner.
Yeah, and like somebody had like already like been playing music, so I couldn't play my music, and she was like, you know, like. I'm not gonna lie. At this point, it's like kind of weird getting tattooed when there's not like some dude screaming in my ear. I'm like, nice.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
she's like, I don't really
Setting
like.
the expectations of
Yeah.
Yeah. Like she's like, I don't really like that kind of music, but like I kind of like it when I'm getting tattooed. I'm like, hell yeah.
It's like
hardcore.
Yeah,
motivates
dude.
you.
Dude, yeah. Like she I think she's cooler than she knows. Like she doesn't try to be like super fucking cool, but like in my experiences with her, like she's been like really fucking cool. She's like had me tattoo shit on her and then had me cover up the thing that she like decided. She didn't like try to blame me for the fact that she like wasn't stoked on the tattoo that she
Like,
got.
You're right.
And she was like, you know what? Yeah, I remember you trying to talk me out of this, so let's go ahead and blast over this.
We're just securing our wallets, really.
Yeah. I don't like that. It's not my preference that I'm gonna fucking cover up my own tats.
It's mainly with like small shit, like Roman numerals,
Yeah.
script that's like teeny tiny.
I'm trying to break the habit of letting the client win, because that's how it happens. Is that like people will, you know, you let the client win, and then 9 times out of 10 you'll never fucking see him again. But then like
Yeah.
that 1 out of 10 times they'll be like, you know what? I remember you tried to talk me out of it, and I stuck to my guns.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to like just stick to my guns more, or like let them go to somebody else, and I just
Yeah.
won't be the one. Maybe they'll remember, like, I wonder what he does like to do. He tried to tell me no, or he did tell me no, he wouldn't do it, but I wonder what he says yes to.
Yeah. Honestly, a lot of people do change their mind. Or one thing I have been trying to change people's minds on is like, okay, you want this dainty tattoo. It will look daintier if it's bigger, because then I can just
right.
use like a 7-round liner
Right.
and it'll be bigger, but it'll look a lot daintier. I promise it'll look a lot daintier if it's, you know, this big than teeny tiny, because that 3's not gonna hold.
I've heard people say, with every tattoo, when it's the size that you think it should be, go put it in the printer and bump it up 30%, and you'll always like it more. I wish everybody would just get bigger fucking tattoos. Like,
Yeah. And it's been persuading a lot more people doing that.
Like I don't understand why people want smaller tattoo, like tiny,
Yeah.
like the tiny tat thing.
Yeah.
Like why is that
like,
even a thing?
this is not gonna look like this in a couple years. It won't. Like trying to explain them, like, it expands. Like, your skin, your body's breaking this down, so it's gonna get bigger over time.
yeah. I
So-
don't know. Like, I really like. I just think, like, you know, tattoos should be legible. Like, I don't want to have to like bust out a magnifying glass either during or after the tattoo, and I don't want people to have to feel that way either. So
Do y'all have pictures of the tiniest, or do you have pictures of the tiniest tattoo you've done?
that's like in my whole like.
Oh, I bet I just hit the mic.
You're good. I wonder. Nope, that's not a thing. Oh wait, actually, yes,
Yeah,
you
it
can.
worked, yeah.
Okay, so go to screen mirroring. You're connected to the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So go to screen mirror
Girl,
and
let
then.
me find that picture first.
Okay,
before
okay. Oh, here, I'll switch the scene real quick. Okay.
I think I can find it on my Instagram.
Stream Deck's fucking tight, dude. Like this is it.
There's a smaller one. I'll probably buy it for you for a tat.
Hell yeah, that's a deal. We got 4 buttons here out of fucking
Yeah.
out
So,
of 32
I'll
buttons.
show you.
I made a small tat little bubble on my thing. I'm like, dang, I didn't realize there's like a gazillion
Yeah.
pictures. Okay, I think this is the smallest.
Okay, so go to mirror.
On settings.
Yeah, well, no, just pull your just do your pull down menu, and then press your mirror button, and then on the screen. So don't pull up
okay.
anything on your phone you don't want people to see. Okay, so your phone is on the screen.
Super cool.
Yeah. What do you got?
Technology.
Yeah, we out here. Oh, that is. You know, it's funny too.
Oh.
In circumstances like these, people will like they'll like pull out a quarter and put a dirty ass quarter up next to the
Yeah.
tattoo. Yep.
Yep, I think this is the smallest I've ever.
I there's. It's funny you can see like the hair follicles.
Yes.
I'm always put in a weird space whenever people get shit like that, or like when people are like that level of hairiness, because it's like I want to shave them, but especially if it's a girl, I don't want to have this like weird condescending like, bitch, you fucking hairy.
I hate that I didn't shave this area.
I mean, it's fine. Like, I don't know, like, what the actual consequences are, like, what can happen if you don't. More than anything else, in my experience, the only thing that's happened is, like, oh, shit, I can't get the Sanoderm to adhere
Yeah.
because you got fucking hair there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I've done tattoos that were that small. I don't know, I didn't choose to take a picture of them. There was one, like, one of the only, ooh.
These are all my small tats. Let's go back to the. I have all of them from when I first started. Oh god, it's really bad. Back when I thought I was like really good.
Hell yeah.
Yo, 2020.
Hell yeah. This is some.
This was a cover up. It was so bad.
That was okay. That exact like color scheme. That's like what the reference was on that neck tat that lady brought in
Oh,
today.
yikes.
But without the black, without the, like hers was like straight
Yeah.
royal and like winter blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the only bad reviews I've ever gotten in my life. This lady came in to Tattoo Ranch and was like, "Did you draw that on?"
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, that's tight. I you know, like you could have just like found a font, you know, but like the fact that you drew that on, like
It looks very drawn on now that I'm looking back at it. I'm
I
like,
mean,
yikes.
I think it's I think it's cool. But this chick came into Tattoo Ranch and she wanted like it was some kind of sea creature. I can't remember if it was a stingray or if it was like a shark. But like if it had just been the shark, I think it would have been okay. But she wanted this like super fucking small name in the shark. And it was like
Teeny tiny.
dummy fucking small. Like for whatever reason, like I think I had bought single round liners, but like I hadn't used them all that much, and I didn't just like blast the fuck out of this chick's ribs or anything, but like it was just like way too fucking small, and like obviously like legibility was just like out the fucking window. I mean, like you just don't like. I think this entire tattoo was like probably smaller than like my two thumbnails combined.
Oh.
Like it was super fucking small. There was like a shark. It was either a shark or a stingray, and then like in like the fin or something like that, there was a name, and it was like at the time I don't know that I think I had the wisdom to understand that like this tat is not going to be tight. Like there's, and I tried to talk her out of it, but she like stuck to her guns, and rather than like just having the artistic integrity to tell her no, I'm not going to be the one, because there is this like constant and in the stockyards that like there's 8 other tattoo shops within walking distance. Like she's gonna go somewhere else and have somebody else fuck her up.
Like if you don't do it, it's someone else.
Right. So I might as well take her fucking money, which is like a really actually like a scumbag mentality. But so I did the tat on her, and then like probably 6 months later, she was acting brand new on fucking Google. Like she acted like we never had the conversation about like
Oh,
how like
no.
she acted like I didn't try to talk her out of getting the name. Like I didn't try to talk her into getting the name bigger. Like all this shit. Like she just acted like I just like blindsided her with this shit, and it was just like it was like all right, you know, it doesn't matter. Like I can try to have as much integrity as I want, but you know she's still gonna act like however she's gonna act. So
We heard your client screaming.
we did.
Do you want to know how big the tattoo was?
How big?
That's
An
that's
inch big.
Don't get
relevant.
me wrong, it was in an awful place.
Yeah.
On her, like, next to her ankle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's relevant to the conversation we're having.
Really.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
They were so sweet
Yeah,
and so nice, and I genuinely liked them as people.
yeah,
But that was probably the most awful tattoo experience clientele I've ever had. They did me really good
yeah.
to where
Kind of
I
made
might
it worth.
overlook it.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah,
That sucked.
yeah.
Yeah.
They were so
Yikes.
nice though. That sucked.
Oh dang, you gotta be at work at 4, right? Probably should hurry up and
Yeah. Do you want
Y'all
to?
are good. I don't mind sitting for a second, but I do. Well,
yeah, skedaddle.
Cool. Yeah, we'll wrap this one up early. So we had some topics we wanted to get to, but I don't know that any of us did the homework because, like we said last week, we wanted to kind of go into it with a little bit of informativeness. I did 5 minutes worth of Googling about the whole like median income thing, but we'll brainstorm some topics this week and we'll come in hot next week, hopefully. The reality is if we plan on like having a really well composed podcast next week that we'll probably have a bunch of walk-ins at like 11:45.
Yeah.
But you know, it's, as I like to call it, it's tempting the tat gods. You know, if you sit around all day and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna eat something. I'm gonna you know, as soon as you order food, it's when people walk in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you set up ready for somebody that you're like, hey, I got time. You set
Yeah.
up, they don't show up. That happens to
Yep.
Jenna all the time.
Tempting the fucking tat gods.
Yep.
So yeah, but so ideally, if everything goes to plan, we'll do this again next week, and then yeah, we'll have some more informative topics. To anybody that's gotten this far in the podcast, we appreciate you for listening and watching, and we will catch you on the next one.
Adios.